Hey yo, that's Mama Bear here, and it's time for another round of Mama Bear's Kitchen. Okay, now for some of you already know this, but I have been watching Some Black Guys and a Drunk for months and months. And I've actually gotten pretty tight with all of the guys on the show. Oh, one of them, Dmajini, had his birthday last Friday. And I know he teased about it, and he did it as a tongue-in-cheek thing on one of my earlier videos about what he wants for his birthday cake. Guess what? Here's your birthday cake, sweetie. Let's get started. Okay, I've got 6 tablespoons of butter, or that's the equivalent of a stick minus 2 tablespoons worth. So see where it's got the quarter cup mark? Yeah, half that, and put it in. And you want this nice and softened. Half cup of sugar. And yes, I'll be sharing the link to this recipe. And you know what? You can use a you can use a mixer if you want. I always love mixing it by hand. One, anytime I can, bypass the noise, it's fabulous. Because me and the kid, we're not very fond of excess noise. But you want to get that creamed up nice and good. Okay, I'm just going to pause this while I do that. Or maybe I'll just chat with you guys for a little bit while I'm... Because if you use the mixer, they say, do it for about 15 minutes. Because you want to get... See, the sugar breaks up the fat in the butter. And it creates this nice homogeneous mixture that's ready to suspend, become light and airy. I'm forgetting that. Don't feel like you need to do it this way. By all means, use a mixer if that's what you're comfortable with. I'm comfortable doing this. Shoot, it's a floating joke in my family. I know a lot of you had Thanksgiving. A lot of you Americans had Thanksgiving recently. Just feeling for the sugar. See how it is. Well, every family gathering, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, whatever. In my family, anytime there's whipped cream, and yes, we do real whipped cream, not Cool Whip. And my dad would absolutely refuse. Even if it said real whipped cream on the canister, he would be like, nah, it's alright. Obviously, he wouldn't say nah, but it was the same idea. Now, you see how it's already getting light and airy? Feeling the sugar's almost mixed in. Okay. It gets less grainy the more you do it. And yeah, I'll be posting the link to this recipe. And this recipe makes enough for two to 4 people, depending on how generous you want to be. Really, if you really want, it's enough for 1 person without getting completely disgusting. Just don't eat it all in one shot. And I'm making one variation from the recipe, and that's going to be the icing. But what he said, Dmajini said, he said he wanted a vanilla cake with chocolate frosting. And for those of you who follow me on Twitter, he wanted Reese's Morsels on top. Now, unfortunately, seeing as we live in 2 different countries, there we go, I can't send this to him. So, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just, as much as it pains me, I'm going to have this cake without him. Yeah. 1 egg. Okay, I'm going to mix that up. grabbing one item. And you put your oven to 350 degrees. Okay, just let it heat up. Now what you need to do, you need small pans for this. I won't lie. She says 6-inch pans. I always actually have some like that. But that's kind of me. I asked for it one year for my birthday, and I got this lovely Wilton set. They came with 5 of these tiny, tiny pans, and they're actually the perfect size, not only for a nice little cake, but also to, they're a perfect size for like a personal pan pizza, which I use my 2-ingredient dough with. I just add a little extra, just need a little extra olive oil with that. And I know this is going to seem a lot, but this is a very vanilla cake. 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. My vanilla extract is clear. That's just what I got in the house right now, see? That being said, when I can find it, I love, love, love the vanilla bean paste from Williams-Sonoma. Oh. I know it's sold elsewhere, but that's one of the only places I can find it. In fact, one of my favorite cookies this time of year, I like making for the holidays, is a vanilla cookie. And if I get my hands on the vanilla bean paste, just having those flecks of vanilla, it's beautiful. Okay, this is flour, baking soda, and about a 1/4 teaspoon baking soda and 1/8 teaspoon of salt to 3/4 cup of flour. We're going to add half of this in, and then we're going to follow with this. This is milk, 6 tablespoons worth of milk with a 1/2 tablespoon of vinegar in it. And that's your way to also cheat when you don't have buttermilk. Okay, and then roughly half. Give that a little stir. Yeah, some will wind up going out of the pan. See, it happens with everybody. Okay. And remember, this is the reason why I like, especially for cakes and pancakes and stuff, why I prefer doing it by hand. Because you don't want to overbeat it. You don't want to overmix the flour. Because when you overmix the flour, that's where you get that thing called, that's where you activate the gluten. The more you work it, the tougher it gets. Gluten is that thing that makes pasta and bread just with that yummy, unctuous texture. Like good bread. Not the stuff you buy in the sandwich bags. Like if you've ever had like a real, like a baguette or a nice artisan loaf, where it's got that dense, chewy texture. That's it. Gluten's still in regular bread too, but it doesn't have the same factor. In fact, most of those sandwich breads, as much as I'm a mom and I buy them because of practicality, I really don't like them because most of them are just like, I'm buying air. Honestly, beforehand, I'll admit, I've never bought as a grown-up. When I was living on my own, I never bought sandwich bread. Because even for stuff like French toast, if you do it with like leftover baguette, or some nice French loaf, or an Italian, or whatever you get your hands on, brioche is fantastic if you can. You can't go back afterwards to just sandwich French toast. And you know what? One of these days, I'll totally do a French toast for you guys. And that is done. Okay, just making sure everything's all mixed up. My oven is at temperature now. And see, look at these. Aren't they so cute? Like, for your reference. They're so cute. Now, I rub them down with butter and put a little flour in there. If you want, you can follow up with parchment. I generally am not going to bother. Because I've been doing it this way for so long. Like if I was doing it in the kitchens, yeah, I would do with parchment too. But this isn't a professional kitchen. As much as you're kind of, when you're doing this, you're watching a former professional in. I did some baking professionally, but not, I wasn't an out-and-out baker. And just scrape that out. Okay. And do our best to get that nice and level. Okay. If you want, again, use a knife or whatever, spoon, to level it off. Or scrape it out of your spatula if you're doing like me. Ooh, messy. Okay. Now this cake comes out super dense and super buttery. I've done this cake before. I'd like to do small batches, but this cake I did actually as a celebration when my ex and I finally finalized the separation. And we got all the paperwork done, and we didn't have to go back to the court anymore. You know. I even bought him his own, I bought him a 6-pack for it. There's your door. They say, it's one of my favorite quotes from Tuscan, Under a Tuscan Sun. Relationships start with cake and wine. They should end the same way. And cake and alcohol. But I'm going to put these in the oven. Take them out. They're going to go in for, I'm guessing about 20 minutes. This is a slightly different size pan than what she's using, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. Then I'm going to take them out, put them on a wire rack, and let them cool. And once they're getting to that point of being ready to move on to the next stage, we'll come back and we'll mix up the icing together. Okay? See you in a bit. Hey guys, we're back. They're nice and cool now. They look gorgeous. And they smell even better. So vanilla-y. I love it. Okay, on to the next step. Frosting. Whole stick. I should have enough of the... Okay. Again, softened butter, people. Don't throw that out. Okay? Put it in the freezer. Because all the stuff that's in there, you can use that to wipe your pans down. Okay? Is your I just put it in the freezer. Okay? Because he said chocolate, I'm taking a slight variation from the recipe that's down below. Okay? So I'm adding in, we'll start with an 1/8 right now, which is 2 tablespoons. I, silly me, forgot to check to see if I had enough powdered sugar. Yeah. And you know what? I apologize for the not ASMR. I'll grab a spatula for that. Just remember, people, number one rule. And again, this is proof. Even professionals goof up sometimes. Okay. Frankly, if it wasn't for people goofing up, we wouldn't have chocolate chip cookies. You know, some of our favorites, or people getting snarky in the kitchen. Just having enough. That's how we got potato chips. Because some customer came in last minute and kept saying, "No, I want the fries thinner. I want the fries thinner." So the chef made them really thin, and that's how we got potato chips. I'm going to see if it's chocolatey enough for my taste. I like that. Okay. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Into the sink you go. And I know you guys can probably see it. There's a pot on the stove. Real life. Also making dinner. So, just shows you it's not one of those regular cooking YouTube channels. Ooh, look at this corner. And then just wipe it up. I forgot something. I know it's chocolate, but you know what? And I'm not going to put in a full. I'm just putting in a little bit. See? Vanilla's like salt for baking. Vanilla for baking is like, it has the same similar function that salt does. It brings out the flavor. Much better. There it is. Perfect little tool. Okay. Take our first half. Offset spatula. Okay. Take a little bit of that. I'll plop that down in there. Professional trick. Because now it's less likely to slide around on you. And don't bring it all the way to the edge. See, when I took these out of the oven, I inverted them face down. Okay. Again, real life happening. Because that way they shrink down. That way the weight of it presses the rest of it down. on top. You see, that's why I did it face down. So it reduces the dome. Because I really just don't want to cut this down. Okay. You just want to push it out to the edges. Could I make this perfectly flat? Yeah. Do I want to? No. Sometimes I will go and make a nice, perfectly flat cake. Flat icing and all of that. But you know what? That stuff, that's your homemade right there. In case any of you are wondering how to tell when the cake is done, take a toothpick, or you generally have metal skewers that I like doing for my souvlaki or whatever. They also double really nicely as cake testers. And you just want to slide it in, and if it comes out clean, you're good to go. And I prefer to aim on that moment it is done. Mind you, with brownies, I'll go that moment just before, and that's a lesson. That's a show for another day. Because some people like their brownies nice and cakey. Not me. I want them fudgy. I mean, if I want something cakey, I'll have some cake. I'll have some cupcake, and yes, I have recipes that do 4 cupcakes. Because I don't want to make lots. Because the more I make, the more there is that has to be eaten. And with my cooking, that's dangerous. Okay. I'm just going to pretty this up just a little. Take a little bit more down on that edge. You know what, if you want more icing, by all means, do more icing. Personally, I don't care. I like that balance, a nice balance between the cake and the icing. As you can see, my hands are getting shaky. It's that time of day. And it just means I'm ready for dinner. And as soon as that's done, I will happily have my dinner. And I'm hoping you guys can hear me because I am mumbling again. There we go. And again, not trying to make it look perfect. Just pretty. And of course, it would not be the requested cake, because I know in the thumbnail I've got, I'm saying, but he has mentioned in my airspace that he wants the morsels. Mention this kind of stuff near me, or at any spot where I'm listening, I'm gonna hear it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put these around the edge. Okay. Good. Heck with it. Let's go for broke. There we go. See, I'm not going to put one in the center, just because that'll interfere with cutting. But that is one beautifully done cake. Professional in me. This is what happens when you do a lot of catering. Now, I could have laid down some parchment to prevent having to do this. Again, just being lazy. Yeah, a little bit of parchment would have saved me this work. Being honest. There we go. All right. And I'll just make a little cut. This cake, like I said, just easy to cut in the four. If I was smart and didn't put the Reese's in the bath, that's okay. Just that up together. And yeah, normally let it sit for a bit. I just want to show it off now. And between you and me, I'm really looking forward to trying this. Put that back together. There we go. Dmajini's requested birthday cake. Vanilla cake, chocolate frosting, and Reese's Morsels on top. Happy birthday, darling. And don't forget, guys, tonight, Keepers of the Force with Dmajini Fatal J, and tomorrow will be Dmajini's birthday live stream. I hope to see y'all there. And as always, hit the like button, share this, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe. Later, y'all. Enjoy this.